It is our willingness to know truth and to be a space for truth that allows so much of who we are to come forth. Willingness is an extraordinary element of power that we've been given. And when we appropriate willingness, even the tiniest morsel of willingness, extraordinary things begin to happen for us and the people around us. Your willingness to begin to take your power back from various things in your life causes that to take place. Creation supports you in your willingness, in your intention. One day I asked creation what his intention was for us here. I was willing to find out what all this was about. And creation said to me, well, it was intended to be a reward. But we don't really receive or act like that, do we? We don't get that. We don't act in our life as though all of that out there, everything going on in our life was created to be a reward. If you're willing to be a space for being willing to look at everything being a reward, a very different universe will begin to come forth for you. Our willingness is a mighty tool. Some days, I really don't feel like doing anything. I can't say that I'm stuck. I just want to be still. I want to be quiet. And yet I have to be in action with different things that need to be accomplished that day. Different things that I intend to see completed that day. And I'll remember to call upon willingness to be present for me. I am willing to be in action this day. I am willing to be a space for action. When we're a space for creation to show up in, creation really will show off for you. And when you create marvelous intentions, the intentions that creation puts upon your heart, the power comes in to bring those things about. But you have to be willing to speak those intentions. You have to be willing to be speaking for creation. Maybe that's all we are. Maybe all we are is a speaking, a voice of creation. And the real creative action lives in our speaking, in our saying so. And that's why it's so important that we be our word, that we be who we say we are. And are we willing to do that? Are we willing to be our word? Are we really willing to be a space for creation? You know, when I think about it, it's the most extraordinary design on the face of the universe and the planet, I think. People, this little mobile unit that creation designed to get itself around in. The possibility that it could be in partnership with you and me, and that together we could be up to something. Like maybe enjoying the reward that all this was created to be. That would be a joyful thing if we could really be a space for that and really receive that, wouldn't it? One day, a lot of energy came into my space and I said, God, I want to be 100% with this all the time. And a little voice said to me, would you be willing to have it be 101%. And I said, yes, of course, 101%. And the voice said to me, good, you'll be responsible for the 1%, and I'll take care of the 100. Now that's an offer you can't really refuse. It's your 1% willingness that makes the 100% of creation's power in your space possible. You get to receive 100% return on your 1% willingness. You can't really beat that. Be willing to let creation inspire you. Creation will speak to you through pictures or sound, words. All the elements of power that come into your space communicate with you in one way or another way, various ways. They'll communicate with you, you'll hear that, but you'll also feel it. It's like confidence speaking to you, saying, hey, you can do this. You hear it and you feel it, and you feel empowered to be up to something. And we need to be willing to ask creation to show us what its intention was for us here. Other than the reward, what are we up to here? What were you designed to be up to here? It's in your heart. You know what it is. You've probably always wanted to do it. And yet you might say, well, it couldn't be this because it's too easy. You mean I could get paid for this? It couldn't be that. I enjoy it too much. There's an old work ethic that has us equate effort and struggle with work. And I really know, and we must be willing to believe and accept the fact that if this space is a reward, it was all intended to be good and joyful and powerful. And we need to be willing to receive that and be fulfilled. The only way we ever will be fulfilled is to be up to who we are. I can't think of a greater thing on earth to be than who we are, each one of us. In the workshops that I do, it is such an honor and such a privilege to see who everyone is created to be coming forth into being who they are. I have the privilege of seeing that. And it is the most remarkable thing. And perhaps it's out of my willingness to see that it occurs. Every morning when I wake up, I think, I can't wait to see what creation is up to today. And I'm sure in heaven, every day they must say, oh, here she comes again. We've got to create another great day for her. We overlook the greatness of our day. Everything you see out there, every tree, every blade of grass, all the sky and the clouds and the raindrops and even the cars, all of the people, everything you see and come in contact with was created just for you. It's there to empower you and your life and what you were designed to be up to. It's there to support you. And we don't act like that, do we? Could we be willing to receive that everything we see was in fact created just for us, but it's there to support us, rather than have it be our enemy or a distant thing, a thing separate from us? That's what connects us. If our body is here to support who we are, who we were created to be, the universe around us that we see and how we say it is also there to empower and support us. Are we willing to receive that? Be willing just a little bit to imagine that everything you see was created just for you. Feel the power of the thing, the beauty of it, the energy of it, the assistance it is, the benefit. You know, when you're in your space, you do realize that, and you do receive that. But it happens so quickly, with so much all, in fact, around you, that you don't have time to comprehend that that's one of the things that's taking place, because so much is happening in that space. And you can't slow it down enough to understand that that's one of the actions that's taking place when you're in your space. The goodness that's there, the wholeness, all that's in your universe. And it's all there for you if you're willing to receive it. It's said that when God created us, when creation designed us, we were the one thing that was given free will. Well, maybe that free will is our willingness, and it is free. Your willingness is free. But if you don't appropriate it, you'll never know it. We can be willing to be in partnership or not. We can be willing to be under domination or not. We can be willing to let go of our aches and our pains, our discomfort, our dis-ease, our illnesses. We can be willing to release those negative conversations that keep cancer in place. We can take our power back from doctors that say we'll die within 3 months. We can take our power back from cancer, which, quote, runs in our family. We can disengage from those conversations that are manifest in our space if we're willing to see what was intended to be there rather than what's inappropriate that lives there now. But are we willing to do that? Sometimes in our life we're dominated by unlanguaged conversations that we just take for granted as being a part of who we are. And we fail to realize that they've lived in our family for many, many generations, perhaps since the beginning of our family lines. And those negative conversations go from lifetime to lifetime, person to person, with all of us thinking, well, that's how it is in our family. We all get cancer by the time we're 50. And along comes a person who says, no, I'm not willing to have that happen. I'm willing to be free of that, and I'm taking my power back from the conversation, and I'm releasing that now. But are we willing to do that? I spoke with a woman at one point who thought the only way out of her marriage, the only way out of her problems, was to not be present to her. And her body very quickly developed cancer, and that was a great way out for her. It was a socially acceptable way out for her, and she had a lot of sympathy from a lot of people. When she changed her mind and notified her body that she wanted to take her power back from death, she wanted to take her power back from her body, and by now what her doctors had said, what the statistics were, we can take our power back from statistics. She was willing to see what creation really had in store for her. when she undid what she had created. And the universe had supported her in what she had decided should be present. And when she was willing to undo that, the cancer disappears. Her body was willing to support her in her speaking, because that's what it's supposed to do. And we need to get underneath our language conversations and look at our unlanguaged ones. And if we're not in agreement with them, if we don't want to be in partnership with them, we can change those conversations. But we need to be willing to look at them and willing to see the truth of them. And you know, the truth of the matter is that negative conversations are not who you are. You do not have to go along with them. Are you willing to take a stand against a negative conversation and see what was intended other than that conversation? Because right underneath that lies the greatness of what was intended for you. Are we willing to give up what we think we want, what we say is there, to find out what really could be? Are we willing to do that? It's about giving up our ideas about how things are going to be. The negative conversation we have about the future, the negative conversation about the future that lives in our space, that creates how the future is going to be for us. Our intellect is so limited. In the great scheme of things, it has a very limited view, and while it can do extraordinary things, our understanding is very limited. And it's out of our willingness to see what possibility is that makes possibility and miracles possible. You know, we feel very vulnerable when we give up our reason, when we give up meaning, when we give up what our understanding of something is, our limited understanding. Are we willing to be vulnerable? There's tremendous power in being vulnerable. Creation knows how vulnerable we are anyway. We're the ones that fail to acknowledge it. Don't you think that creation, in knowing that, would supply far and above whatever is wanted and needed in our space, if we're only willing to be, to acknowledge our vulnerability and be willing to be it. Be willing to find out how great it can get. Be willing to find out how wonderful it already is. You know, we speak as though none of this is in place. And yet we can live in the result of something, even though it hasn't come forth for us. We can live in the result of something knowing that it is going to come forth, that it is going to be. And we can be in that with great certainty. Are we willing to be with equal amount of certainty that everything that's already been planned is, in effect, coming forth? It already is. And it's coming forth. And we're a part of that unfolding. And every time you get your power back from something, every time you release some inappropriate thing from your space, you get more into the base, into the foundation, into the center of who it is you're created to be. You come more into focus for yourself of what creation's really up to here and what we can be up to together. Every time you take your power back, you come more into the greatness of who it is you were designed to be. And that's a powerful base to operate out of. It's an extraordinary, unshakable foundation that really very little can rock. It is a rock, like a rock. And it's solid. And you can trust it. If you're willing to receive the reward that's here for you, if you're willing to be in partnership with creation and find out how great it can get, creation will support you all the way, will not fail you in any event. That's the co-partnership we have. That's the co-operation that we can share. That's our partnership. Are you willing to extend 1% of your willingness as an investment on 100% return of creations delivering everything to you? Do you have any idea how creation longs to be with you, longs to be in partnership with you? It's just waiting for you to ask. It's just waiting for you to request that partnership. Creation will never force you into anything you don't want to do. It waits until you say, I want to be your friend. I want to be in partnership with you. I want to find out what you want to be up to here. Why are you here? Creation waits for you to ask. And when you're willing to be a space for creation, all the universe sends in the power to make that partnership so safe and so secure forever. It'll blow you away. Just ask. Just ask. Be willing to ask. My name is Jill Jackson, and I've made this tape in response to requests I've had from people that have been doing my empowerment workshop, tension workshop, and willingness workshop. And I'm trying to complete my book about empowerment, on regaining our power, and about willingness. And part of what I'm doing, I'm trying to listen to people about how effective tapes are. And I'd appreciate knowing what value this tape has been for you. Please. Well, I ask that you call, and I will say that was an extraordinarily quick response. That's creation for you. Please call me at area code 407-339-2797. 339-2797. Thanks a lot. I really would appreciate hearing the results that this tape produces for you, or what suggestions you have about tapes of this nature. Take care. Bye-bye. I'd appreciate it if you would fast forward the tape to the end of the reel, turn it over, and begin listening to the affirmations about willingness. You can listen to these affirmations when you're in the car or going to bed at night, whenever it works for you to do it. Pretty soon you'll have your own affirmations more present for you. You can invent and create your own. Just let these words come into your space and find a home there. They're here to support you. They're here to empower you. And as you say your own affirmations, you're notifying any inappropriate thing in your space that you're not really willing to put up with it anymore, that you're willing to get your power back from it, that you're a space of willingness to have what is appropriate present. Your willingness allows what is appropriate in your life to be present. Your willingness allows the greatness that's intended for you, the reward that was intended for you, to be present. Be willing to receive your good. Be willing to know just how great it can get. Be willing to have this tape make a difference in your life. And every time you listen to it, you're going to get more and more into the willingness space of who you are. Be willing to receive. Be willing to be in the space of possibility for your life and the life of the people around you. Your willingness allows the willingness of others to be present. Wouldn't it be great if we lived in a world where everyone was willing and able to support one another? Willingness creates a space for possibility. Be in partnership with it. Explore it and find out what's there for you. This side of the tape is about willingness declarations. These declarations will align your body and the world around you to your intentions, to your speaking. And as you listen to this tape, just let the words find a home within you and allow the livingness of them to accomplish what they were intended to do. When you're finished with the tape, you'll continue with your own declarations about your willingness. I am willing to be willing. I'm willing to be free. I'm willing to be me. I'm willing to feel wonderful. I'm willing to be safe. I'm willing to be secure. And I'm willing to be protected. I'm willing to be present now. I'm willing to listen to my body, to relax. I'm willing to release every tension, every pain. I'm willing to not need pain in my life. I'm willing to be free of turmoil, the chaos, the insanity that lives out there in the world around me. I'm willing to rest. I'm willing to let everything in my body be still, to come to the quiet place. I'm willing to be in my body, to not check out, to breathe, to be alive. I'm willing to be here. I'm willing to be happy. I'm willing to be healthy. I'm willing to be joyful. I'm willing to succeed. I'm willing to win. I'm willing to play. I'm willing to be in harmony with myself and everyone, the world around me. I'm willing to be clear. I'm willing to be transparent. I'm willing to be stable. I'm willing to receive all my good. I'm willing to be my service. I'm willing to know truth. I'm willing to be who I am. I'm willing to be able. I'm willing to live a life that's designed to work. I'm willing to know my worth. I'm willing to give. I'm willing to be healed. I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to let God be in control of everything. I'm willing to know peace. I'm willing to have a happy childhood now, to be lovable. I'm willing to have fun. I'm willing to be in partnership. I'm willing to love. I'm willing to be loved. I'm willing to be loving now. I'm willing to be well. I'm willing to be productive. I'm willing to be my service. I'm willing to risk. I'm willing to be a space for creation to show up in. I'm willing to know respect. I'm willing to trust. I'm willing to know abundance. I'm willing to be authentic. I'm willing to release every inappropriate thing from my life. I'm willing to detach. I'm willing to be comfortable. I'm willing to be complete. I'm willing to know God. I'm willing to be ever so thankful. I'm willing to be bold. I'm willing to be connected, and I'm willing to change. I'm willing to feel my bliss, to know joy and delight. I'm willing to be delighted. I'm willing to be in action. I'm willing to be creative. I'm willing to know determination. I'm willing to be humble. I'm willing to be direct. I'm willing to be honest. And I'm willing to be appropriate. I'm willing to speak. I'm willing to know what works for me and what works for you. I'm willing to be generous, to be gracious. I'm willing to know my perfect weight. I'm willing to be 15, 20 years younger. I'm willing to be in perfect health. I'm willing to know my greatness. I'm willing to know outrageously wonderful relationships. I'm willing to be open. I'm willing to be a great friend. I'm willing to be teachable. I'm willing to be a great listener. I'm willing to be there for you. I'm willing to laugh and sing and dance. I'm willing to hope. I'm willing to create time for me and for you. I'm willing to be a reflection of greatness, of wisdom and understanding, knowing. I'm willing to express my feelings. I'm willing to be in my space, this space. I'm willing to be a space. A space for love to show up in. A space for the greatness of God to be present in. For joy. A space for joy. I'm willing to observe. I'm willing to see the greatness in others. I'm willing to receive support. I'm willing to be as present as possible right now. And I'm willing to speak past how you show up into who it is you really are. I'm willing to express gratitude. I'm willing to give. I'm willing to have faith. And I'm willing to be in a relationship out of my wholeness rather than what's missing. I'm willing to be in a space where nothing's missing. I'm willing to be. I'm willing to be in the light. I'm willing to be bold. I'm willing to be on purpose, on time. I'm willing to know creation. I'm willing to see how great it can get. I'm willing to be amazed. I'm willing to be debt-free, to increase my earnings. I'm willing to pay all of my bills on time and with joy. I'm willing to enjoy my money. I'm willing to have great and wise investments. I'm willing to own my own home. I'm willing to be free. I'm willing to enjoy a great vacation. I'm willing to share. I'm willing to feel good right now. I'm willing to be well. I'm willing to be positive. I'm willing to be a yes. And I'm willing to say no. No, that doesn't work for me. I'm willing to remember the good. I'm willing to know the truth. I'm willing to be excited about life. I'm willing to be in touch with all my feelings. I'm willing to enjoy having choices. And I'm willing to choose. I'm willing to dream. I'm willing to be fulfilled. I'm willing to have plenty. I'm willing to be enough. I'm willing to love myself and you. I'm willing to be aligned with every part of me and with the world around me. I'm willing to change my mind. I'm willing to know compassion. I'm willing to understand. I'm willing to be wise. I'm willing to live forever. I'm willing to be all I can be right now. I'm willing to be a space for excellence. I'm willing to see the entire world healed and whole. I'm willing to know tenderness. I'm willing to expect the very best from you and from me. I'm willing to let others be who they are, where they are. I'm willing to enjoy every relationship. I'm willing to allow peace to be present now. I'm willing to see success for everyone. I'm willing to forgive and forget. I'm willing to allow my friends to be there for me. I'm willing to meet people where they are. I'm willing to be corrected. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be right. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be in agreement. I'm willing to expect. I'm willing to be in the moment. I'm willing to be totally satisfied. I'm willing to be. I'm willing to share my good now. I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to exceed in all my ways. I'm willing to be fair. I'm willing to be with me. Yes, I'm willing to be tolerant of myself and others. I'm willing to be single-minded. I'm willing to be my best. I'm willing to be in the flow. I'm willing to know how to accomplish any and everything. I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to listen to my higher self, my higher power. I'm willing to see my inner child healed and whole. And I'm willing to experience my inner adult healed and whole. I'm willing to grow up. I'm willing to be integrated. I'm willing to be present. I'm willing to have everything. I'm willing to see you. I'm willing to use my common sense. I'm willing to communicate. I'm willing to express and communicate my feelings, my needs. I'm willing to deliver. I'm willing to be my word. I'm willing to keep my promises. I'm willing to be adventurous. I'm willing to surrender. I'm willing to be in action right now. I'm willing to know. I'm willing to be curious. I'm willing to believe. I'm willing to be with responsibility. I'm willing to reason. I'm willing to be passionate, to be loyal, to be faithful, to be counted on. I'm willing to be innocent. I'm willing to empower others. I'm willing to encourage. I'm willing to edify. I'm willing to know the very best of you and me. I'm willing to let go of every secret. I'm willing to disclose. I'm willing to receive the very best from everyone. I'm willing to receive all the good that God has for me right now. I'm willing to receive right now. I'm willing to be totally and completely satisfied. I'm willing to be pleased. I'm willing to know my higher power's vision for me. I'm willing to listen to my higher power, to God, to creation, to everything in the universe, bringing all the good into my life. I'm willing to receive the gift that you are to me. I'm willing to accept you as you are. I'm willing to accept where I am. I'm willing to know your greatness. I'm willing to release every negative conversation. I'm willing to see my entire family whole and healed, well. I'm willing to be gentle. I'm willing to honor you and to enjoy you. I'm willing to have fun. I'm willing to support you in all of your ways. I'm willing to be in agreement with my higher power. I'm willing to be truthful. I'm willing to see fantastic results in my life and yours. And I'm willing to be here now. I'm willing to know compassion. I'm willing to be present. I'm willing to be understanding of myself and others. I'm willing to be content. I'm willing to be excited. I'm willing to share my good fortune. I'm willing to know you. I'm willing to treat myself. I'm willing to remember your loving smile. I'm willing to reach out. I'm willing to recall the light in your eyes. I'm willing to embrace the earth and the sky and the sea and the wonder of it all. And I'm willing to be surprised. I'm willing to be delighted. I'm willing to be a space for healing. I'm willing to write, to express, to say what's so for me. I'm willing to dream. I'm willing to share your dream. I'm willing to enjoy your victory and mine. I'm willing to change my mind. I'm willing to be who it is I was created to be. I'm willing right now to be me. I'm willing to accept differences. I'm willing to greet the morning with expectation. I'm willing to commit my dream time to God. I'm willing to smell the roses. I'm willing to listen to laughter. And I'm willing to discard every disability. And I'm willing to be able. I'm willing to release all dis-ease. I'm willing to be whole. I'm willing to accept my higher power's plan for my life. I'm willing to be in my space here, right now, today. I'm willing to accept your love, your outstretched hand, your calling to me. I'm willing to feel wonderful, fantastic, marvelous. I'm willing to know intimacy. I'm willing now. I'm willing to have you in my space, and I'm willing to love. I'm willing to understand your pain, to be tolerant. I'm willing to share your loss and to expect your good. I'm willing to delight in your abundance, your joy and your laughter and your wealth. I'm willing to be here for you. I'm willing to be teachable. I'm willing to see all good. I'm willing to expect the best. I'm willing to excel. I'm willing to appreciate myself and others. Everything I see. I'm willing to be in balance. I'm willing to be calm and to let go of every tension in my body now. I'm willing to be in my body. I'm willing to know ease. I'm willing to know ecstasy. I'm willing to be of value and to know simplicity. I'm willing to be in partnership. I'm willing to know you. I'm willing to know discernment. I'm willing to be open. I'm willing to be discreet. I'm willing to be still. I'm willing to respect who you are at all times. I'm willing to honor your boundaries. I'm willing to see you healed and whole and have you succeed in all your ways. I'm willing to assist you in releasing your pain. I'm willing to release the absence of trust. I'm willing to be a space for truth. I'm willing to be daring. I'm willing to take my power back from every inappropriate thing. I'm willing to take my power back from judgment. I'm willing to take my power back from fear. I'm willing to take my power back from all doubt and worry. And I'm willing to release every worry right now. I'm willing to take my power back from anger. I'm willing to take my power back from every negative perception that's in my space. I'm willing to release every negative conversation now. I release negative conversations about my family, my loved ones. I release every negative conversation about my friends and colleagues, about my work, about you, about me. I release every negative conversation about the world around me, the world that's here to support me and empower me. And I'm willing to release any negative view I have of the past. And I'm willing to release any negative view of the future a negative past is giving to me. I'm willing to take my power back from belief systems which do not support or empower me. I'm willing to release all the blocks and barriers. I'm willing to take my power back from unbelief. I'm willing to take my power back from all the things that irritate me. I take my power back from traffic. I take my power back from the barking dog next door. I'm taking my power back from the clerk that kept me waiting. I'm taking my power back from the rain that will have me be late. I take my power back from little things and big things, from memories that don't serve me. I take my power back from memories that stand between you and me. And I release them all now. I put them into the light. I'm willing to put every inappropriate thing into the light. I'm willing to have my higher power show me where and when I give my power away. And I'm willing to have all of my power back. I'm willing to have all of my power back. I'm willing to receive all of my good now. I'm willing to be a space for creation to show up in. And I receive it all now. I receive it now. This marks the end of the side of this tape. If you'd be good enough to fast forward your tape to the end, please. Thank you.